What a woman becomes in your presence reflects the man that you are. If you are with a woman that constantly criticizes you, nags you, is very bossy and bitchy and very like masculine, basically, like a Jessica the Boss Babe, as I call her, it is because you've become too soft and she fundamentally has stepped into what I call her assertive energy. Now, if you're similar to like my clients, you want a soft woman, right? You want a feminine woman that brings peace and a drama-free life, basically, into your household. So how do we get here from Jessica, the fucking boss babe energy, into Kathy, the soft feminine woman? Quite simple. You need to develop what I call a balanced masculine frame. Think of frame as your operating system that fundamentally determines how you respond to situations that you experience in your life. A balanced frame that is soft when it is needed to be soft, playful, this is the issue that most men face. They are super logical and they cannot stop like thinking with their logical brain and switch into the creative fun part. So you need to develop that Don Juan archetype frame in you. And then the Patrick frame, aka the very assertive leader in your relationship, meaning that you say no when you want to say no. You set a boundary when she's violating certain standards that you set in a relationship, and it goes way beyond that. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to fundamentally break down how we go from integrating Patrick, Don Juan, and Noah so that your woman turns into Kathy, a soft woman that loves you and will never leave you. So the beauty of women is that they always respond to your frame. They're responsive by nature, meaning that if you're with the Jessica the Boss Babe, all you got to do is you just got to be more assertive, more playful, and then she will over time soften into her Kathy energy. You need to also understand that we as humans, our personalities aren't fixed. These names that I've like provided you with here are energies. We all are like energy, basically, or you're part of the universe. The entire universe is just energy. So, meaning, if you show intent to change, you can actually change, which is fucking amazing. We are not fixed. We're just the sum of our beliefs. So how do we change our beliefs? By changing our actions and our behavior. And once we change our actions and our behavior, the world around us will respond differently to that new behavior, that new reality that we're creating. So, long story short, Jessica the Boss Babe will respond to strength. The reason why so many guys like start turning their woman into like a Jessica the Boss Babe is because we men, we've been conditioned to believe that we need to be a good man, which is great, which is true. We want to be a good man, but the definition of a good man is wrong. The modern day definition of a good man is basically the nice guy. Self-sacrifice. Don't speak up. Yeah. I've grown up without a father. I've been raised by my not by my mom. She abandoned me as well. My grandma has raised me, and she turned me, because she was ultra religious, she turned me into this like typical Christian boy. Yeah. Don't speak up. Treat every woman like a princess. Now that translated into behavior of, if I set a boundary, if I say no, I'm a bad man, I don't want to be a bad man, so I'm not going to set a boundary. Meaning I turned into this hyper empathetic and compassionate Noah. Now, empathy and compassion, I hope you can fucking see this, is a spectrum. If you're only compassionate, basically, and you don't have boundaries, that is basically like self-deletion. Empathy without boundaries is not compassion, it's self-sacrifice. Empathy or zero empathy is the other extreme of empathy, which is you don't have any empathy, you only have boundaries, you don't make any compromises. So we need to find a healthy middle ground here, healthy balance. This is where Patrick comes in, right? But we'll get to that in a second. So a lot of my clients, when they come to me, they're like super successful guys who are like extremely assertive. They're really much in their Patrick energy in their career and can easily like set boundaries. But for some reason, or not for some reason, because they've been conditioned to be a nice guy in a relationship, they turn to Noah. And as a response to that Noah, a woman turns into Jessica the Boss Babe. So you need to bring back that leadership element that you have in your career. You need to bring that into your relationship. A lot of my clients think like, well, isn't it bad to view a relationship like a business? To which I say, no, it's bullshit. It's actually great. You need to like view a relationship as a business. Why would you be like so obsessed with like if you think about it, like if you like one of the most important elements of your life, a relationship, why would you not want to treat this as a professional? Why would you have systems and rules and standards in your business or the career that you have, but not in your relationship? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Because the relationship is one of the, if not the most important element of your life, because you're just going to spend the rest of your life potentially with your spouse, right? With your girlfriend. So you want to fucking have a systematic approach to relationships and run it like a business. Now, there again, leadership and running a business is again a spectrum, and you realize that right now, like everything in life is a spectrum basically. You can, if you lead a company, you can be a tyrant, or you can be a weakling, or you can have an adaptable leadership like a proper CEO has. And the right leadership, a proper CEO leadership, is assertive, is playful, is empathetic when needed. So you need to develop the ability, like you need to develop this skill to switch between these leadership styles. Jessica the Boss Babe will definitely respond to Patrick and Don Juan best, and there will be glimpses of where she needs a bit of Noah. So if you want to make her soft again, you cannot lead with giving her more love, paying for more fancy spa trips, paying for fancier holidays, reassuring her more of your love. She doesn't give a shit about all that. A Jessica, or like a woman who's in her Jessica Boss Babe energy, she's quite guarded. It's like view her like she's wearing armor. Like she's dressed like a knight basically, yeah? And you're trying to get through to her heart, but there's no opening. You're trying to hand a letter to her heart, but every time you like push against that armor, it just like falls off because she's not ready to receive it. Why? Because she doesn't trust you yet. She sees you as a weak man because you're like only empathetic. You're a soft man. And softness, unfortunately, in human nature, is seen as a weakness. It's seen as I can steamroll this person. So you need to integrate. That sounds like quite daunting and doomy, or doom and gloomy. I'm not sure doomy is a word. But if you stop being naive actually and realize, you know what, compassion and kindness is great if it is contained in, I don't have any space here, if it is contained in assertive, playful leadership. Kindness is a gift. Actually, use it this way. Your kindness is a gift, but it's wrapped in assertive and playful leadership. Let me give you a couple of examples. So actually, when it comes to playfulness, I'm going to insert a couple of clips of me with Sandra, and you see how I'm playful in a relationship.
Freely in the fucking flat, and
you roam freely with your cheesecake. This is I'm so thankful you allowed me roam freely.
Yeah, the cheesecake I never fucking got anyways, you know.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, like fucking 5 business days later. Yeah.
It was for like 3 seconds. That's why it disappeared.
Yeah. See what I have to deal with, guys. Like unbelievable.
See what I have to deal with.
Yeah, come closer. I think that's really making your point, you know.
Here we go, Sunday morning. With the most beautiful woman in the world next to you. How awesome does it feel, Hercules?
Do you also hear this? Do you hear this bird yapping and chirping? Got cold hands, by the way. Now Sandra's touching my cock.
You put my hand.
Yeah. It's a magnet. You've seen a couple of scenes where I was playful with Sandra. Let me show you how I playfully set a boundary about the dishes in the cupboard. And you'll notice that it is like me setting the boundary is the intent of that behavior is a Patrick energy, aka red, assertive leader. But the way I set the boundary, how I communicate, that is Don Juan. Yeah, aka playful. I don't take myself too serious. I'm self-amused.
Sandra, are you trying to kill me? Are you trying to give me a heart attack? What kind of arrangement is this? That doesn't make any sense. Look, balls here. Damn, what the hell?
Why does a Jessica respond best to Patrick and Don Juan, to Playful and strong leadership, because she's already very assertive. She's very strong. If you are, let's say, imagine you're in a football team, yeah, and you are like the strong leader. You're the captain. You do not look up to the people who are weaker than you, who have less skills, do you? You look up to people who have more skills than you, better skills than you. Basically, you only look up to people who are more competent than you. If you lack assertive leadership, if you lack the ability to say, like, you know what, Jessica, let's call her Jessica, or let's say Sandra as an example. Hey, Sandra, I know that you're having a bad day and it sounds like you're really frustrated. That is, by the way, compassion, because I label her emotion. It sounds like you are XYZ, Noah. But if you yell at me right now, I don't tolerate that. Yeah, so let's play this out as a scenario. So Sandra comes home. Hey, Jean, I'm having a bad day. Oh, I think I need a hug. Can we talk? Noah. Now you implement Noah. You're like, of course. Wait, what's happening? Sounds like you're really upset and frustrated. Hug. Amazing. Now, if she were to come home in that moment and say, well, I'm having such a bad day, and why the fuck didn't you do the dishes? I've asked you this morning to do them, and yeah, you never listen to me, and everything you do is just bullshit. If that is her way of coming into the flat, most men now would say, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't do the dishes, I know I promised. So first of all, why do you make a promise that you don't follow through on? So that's where you can understand her anger. However, how she communicates that frustration is disrespectful to me. It's where I would say, you know, Sandra, I understand that you're angry. I understand that you're frustrated. Again, acknowledgement, which is Noah, empathetic. That's part of my leadership style. Then I step into but. Here's the but. I want you to stop yelling at me. There's no need to yell at me. So I let you cool down for 5-10 minutes. Find a way to cool down. Then we can have a conversation about this, okay? Patrick, there would be a commanding boundary. Now I could also be playful, which is my default response. I could say, yo, princess, sounds like someone's having a really bad day, yeah? What's going on, huh? Do you want your Snickers? Sandra doesn't eat chocolate, right? But it's a callback to the Snickers commercials that, oh, you need to have a Snickers, you need to take a break because you're too angry, Snickers will calm you down, right? That's a callback. Oh, Sandra, sounds like someone's having a really bad day. No, damn it. And now I didn't do the dishes. Can you believe it? Oh, shit. Call the police. Report a crime. I trust myself to be able to handle whatever comes as a consequence of what I just said. You guys need to fucking grab life by the balls and stop being so afraid of saying the wrong thing. I've slept with several hundreds of women. Yeah, I've been in 5 long-term relationships. All of these girls were investment bankers, head of strategies, consultants, yada yada. They worked in sales. They were extremely bossy at work. When they were with me, bro, they were princesses. They were lovey-dovey emoji. Because I command the fucking room with whatever energy I believe is best. So, how do you become more playful? Well, instead of viewing her as the goddess, your girlfriend as a goddess or the queen, why don't you view her as a little princess, your little niece? That doesn't mean any harm, but it's just sometimes a bit too emotional. Yeah, you're the CEO, bro. You're responsible for the standards in the relationship. Why are you not acting on those? Like, it's great to, I see this with a lot of guys. They map out the standards they want to have for the relationship. She shouldn't text her ex. She shouldn't have male friends. She shouldn't travel to Miami, you know? But then when it comes to the implementation or enforcement of those boundaries and those standards, they don't say shit. Oh, you've been texting another guy. Oh, well, that's fine. It's fine. I know. I trust you. You're sacrificing your principles, Jessica. Like, your woman will then sniff that and like, oh, I smell pussiness. Then she turns into Jessica the boss babe. As a result, because she feels like she made the wrong choice. She made the choice of being with a guy who's anxiously attached, has a fear of abandonment, is incapable of fucking putting her into place, is too fucking serious, lacks the playfulness, and is now just a fucking Kevin, aka the nice guy, aka Will Smith. No, thank you. I'm gonna cheat or I'm gonna break up with you. I'm gonna dump you. Yeah? So, Long story short, how do you become a Patrick, or how do you integrate your Patrick energy? Say no when you want to say no, and we can do a lot of inner work, but at the end of the day, it just starts with saying no. No, you can't text your ex, or like start saying no with smaller things. Like, hey Jessica, like I have one of my clients, he's with a girl that has a fucking bird in the flat, and that fucking thing chirps. He sent me an audio note. Like, I asked him to record a video. I was like, bro, like, have you told her that this bird pisses you off? Like, no, I haven't. Yeah, then why the fuck are you complaining about the bird when you haven't even set the boundary? Or last time he asked her, like, she's very protective, right, of her food. They lived together for 5 years. He works in AI, by the way. Like, he's super smart, right? He makes multiple 6 figures. He's a top athlete as well, right? Ripped, like, you know, fucking shredded. And he forgot to buy food. He wanted to take one of her protein bars, and he said, hey babe, can I get one of your protein bars? And she said, no, leave them, they're all mine. He didn't say a thing. He said, yeah, okay. It's like, bro, in that moment you tell her, like, what do you mean? Like, you don't want to share your protein bars with me? That shows how little you respect me, by the way. It's like, you know what, fuck that, I don't want to be with you. I don't, like, you have to tell her, like, you know what, that's a fucking problem for me. Why are you afraid to tell her that? And then you wonder why she doesn't respect you, man. Like, this comes from a place of love. But a woman cannot respect a man who's too afraid to tell her to, like, get fucked sometimes, you know? In a loving way. If you truly love your woman, you set boundaries. You tell her, like, yo, this isn't working for me. Because you are fundamentally disrespecting me constantly. But it's actually, you know what? Actually, I'm allowing it. I am responsible here because you respond to my frame, and I am weakening my frame because I love you. But actually, if I were to love you, I would say no. I would not tolerate this kindergarten BS. I would not tolerate this fucking bird. I would not tolerate that you do not want to share your food with me. I had another client, he makes, bro, like, he has a business that employs 1,000 people. He worked at Goldman Sachs. Imagine the kind of guy, yeah? He like spent $2,000 on the weekend with one of his with his girlfriend. They traveled to like Paris, and she complained that he did not spend enough money on the weekend. He had a problem with his card and couldn't pay for a coffee. He asked her, like, hey, can you cover the coffee for me, please? She said, no, I'm not going to pay for someone who can't pay for his coffee. And he apologized. He had to ask a stranger to pay for his coffee. That bitch would have been on a fucking one-way I would have been on a fucking one-way ticket back to wherever he was coming from. I'm not going to share the location for privacy reasons. Like, you guys need to have, like, develop balls and standards that you then also implement and enforce. And that will then make a woman softer again, because a woman, she needs to feel that resistance sometimes, yeah? She needs to feel that tension, playful tension. Then on top of that, how do you integrate your Don Juan, the playful side of you? One easy way is, I always recommend my clients to watch Matt Rife, 15 minutes, to show you that there's another world that is a bit more playful than your logical brain of spreadsheets and linear communication. Matt Rife is great at crowd work and saying things that are a bit outrageous. It will, the more you watch him, the more you give yourself fundamentally the permission to say outrageous things, because you become what you surround yourself with. So if you see someone saying the things that you would like to say, or if you see someone who you would like to become, thanks to mirror neurons and neuroscience, yada yada yada, you will absorb their behavior, you copy their behavior. So watch Matt Rife. Another exercise that I like to do with my clients is like, what can I observe about this person or this behavior? What can I infer about this? So for example, if your girlfriend orders a matcha latte, what can you infer about this? Well, matcha latte means she's healthy or she's trendy. Most likely she likes to do yoga. Most likely matcha latte means she wants some caffeine. Maybe she didn't sleep well, yada, yada, yada. And then you can make a joke about her. Not a joke, but like a comment about her, like matcha latte. Since when did you just start drinking matcha latte? You're becoming so adventurous lately. Or you're such a Pilates girl now. Or you're such an LA girl right now. Or you're such a girl from New York. Oh, I cannot believe I am with a woman like that, you know? That is a playful comment. But I'm going to show you another clip right now where I just use the weather to like make a comment about Sandra basically. It's nice in the sun, huh?
It is fine.
Yeah, especially you're gonna get so tan on your upper arms, Sandra. And then Noah, I mean, you don't really need to train Noah. Like, you just need to reduce your Noah, basically. I think one of the issues that actually make you look even more incompetent, where you don't show empathy, is when she comes home saying that she is having a bad day, that she complains, like, oh yeah, my boss is such a dickhead. He gave me another project. I'm running late on my projects. Yada, yada, yada. And then you're telling her what to do instead of just saying, I understand. You're nodding along like, yeah, I get you. And it sounds tough. That is the display of empathy and competence, because in that moment you understand that a woman that shares a bad day just wants to vent. She doesn't want a fix. If you want to learn how to become the man that immediately and instantly softens a woman, there are two ways, bro. You can either book a call with me, link is in the description, to apply working with me one-on-one, or there's a book that I call the Aphrodite Coder that goes deeper into how to make any woman soft and build a deeper emotional connection with her. Link is in the description as well. Fucking crush it. Love and peace. Ciao, ciao.